everybody, Sam here. I have been asked this question so many times, and I'm doing quite a lot of work at the moment for clients that are looking to refinance their properties that they've bought and done some refurbishment to. That question is, can I remortgage my property that I bought less than 6 months ago? The answer historically has been no. The reason for that is that many lenders do not believe that that you should be refinancing your property before you've owned it for at least 6 months. There was a bit of a myth about land registry. I think there's an element of truth in it, that sometimes it takes land registry a little bit of time to actually be showing the relevant information on there that you actually own the property. But a lot of the time, really, it was just a kind of a set rule across the industry. More recently, there have been a few lenders that have come into the market and changed their criteria and said, you know what, we will lend you, we will refinance you before 6 months ownership. However, there has been another issue with regards to that, and that is that actually before 6 months, a lot of the lenders that say that they will refinance you, actually, although they will, they'll only actually refinance you based on the original purchase price, which, if you're conforming to the purchase, refurbish, refinance model, doesn't help you at all. You're looking to recycle your cash. That's not going to help you. Or if you can give them a schedule of works and they're happy that the works have actually increased the value of the property, they might lend you the original purchase price plus the cost of the works. Again, you might be able to repay a bridge, but you're unlikely to be pulling much money out, if any at all, of that. It doesn't really help you. However, there is actually a way of using the open market value as the new value of which a new mortgage is worked out against. 75% loan to value against actually the open market value. And not many people like it, but it usually includes having to pay extra in terms of interest rate, fees, and it does mean using commercial lenders. So effectively, commercial lenders can be commercially minded. That's what they're all about, and they can effectively work out, or they're more comfortable with people that actually are property professionals, so they understand the concept of what they're doing a little bit better. I'll give you an example of a case that I have been working on relatively recently. The client was buying a property using a bridge, and it was a 2-bedroom house. Their plan was, as experienced landlords, to convert that property into a 4-bedroom HMO. Now, the refinance date really is around the 3 or 4 month mark. Now, ordinarily, we would go to an HMO lender. They would offer us an HMO product, and they would tell us that we had to wait 6 months in order to refinance. However, by going to a commercial lender, what they've said is, look, we've had a look at the schedule of works, we've had a look at some before and after photos, and we think there's merit here. You've converted the property. It's a different property to what it was before. And it's obviously going to have gained in value, and as a result, we're happy to send out a valuer to go and see that property and confirm actually what the open market value would be. Hopefully that's going to be roughly the same as what you thought the GDV was likely to be, gross development value, that is. And you borrow your 75,000, and if you haven't bought it cash, if you've used a bridge, you can pay it off and hopefully recycle your money out nice and quickly. Now that's pretty obvious because you've converted a residential property into an HMO, or a single let property into an HMO, I should say, a buy-to-let into an HMO. But what if you are just doing a refurb? Now, if you're doing a relatively light refurb, i.e. new kitchen, new bathroom, new carpets, painting the whole place, etc., it's unlikely that a lender, even if they're a commercial lender, is going to see a significant uplift enough to say that you've converted the property. If you've added an extra bedroom, if you've done an extension, if you've done a loft conversion, that's the grey area. That's going to be in between. That's a if, buts and maybe sort of scenario. They're not 100% certain to do it. I think it's going to be, very much dependent on the extension of the works, pardon the pun, because it's an extension earlier on. It's going to be very much dependent on what the market in that area is like. So knowing and understanding the market. If there's a big differentiator between a 2-bed and a 3-bed, and you've converted a 2-bed, 2 up, 2 down, into a 3-bed by converting the loft, then there's decent merit there. If there isn't, if there's only a relatively small, uplift in those kind of average prices in that postcode, it's probably not going to happen, and you're going to have to sit and wait for 6 months. So it is a bit swings and roundabout scenario. The quicker you can get your refurb done, the better. However, if you're not actually doing enough to create a substantial difference in the property, you're probably still needing to conform to that 6-month rule. So as a bit of a summary quickly, yes, you can refinance before the 6-month rule on an open market value. You are going to have either changed the property substantially or made enough changes that a reasonable uplift can be demonstrated, i.e. you've done a loft conversion, increased the number of bedrooms, done an extension, whatever it might be. A light refurb is not going to be sufficient for that, and you will have to wait for the 6-month rule. Ordinarily, you can refinance before the 6-month rule with a number of lenders. However, they will probably just work out on the purchase price or the purchase price plus works, cost of works, if you're lucky. So that's kind of a very quick answer to a question I've been asked a lot recently. I was at Partners in Property today, and it was asked a couple of times. And it was asked a couple of times during the course of the early part of this week by other clients as well. So I wanted to jump on and actually sort of talk it through and share it with a lot of you. And I've also just realised that without my tie on and with my shoulders only visible, it looks very much like I am off to do an evening shift at the local kebab shop. So I'm going to go off and do that. I'm going to leave you to your evening. Have a fantastic week, be successful. I hope this is helpful. If you have any other questions, do get in touch. You can find me on YouTube by searching Sam Norris. You can find me on Instagram by searching @TheSamNorris. You can find me on Twitter @TheSamNorris. You can find me on Facebook by searching Sam Norris Property. And you can also check out my podcast, The Part-Time Entrepreneur's Playbook, available on all major platforms. So I will leave that there. Have an awesome day, night, evening, whatever you're doing. Be successful, and see you on the next one. Cheers.